Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Wednesday, April 26th. Man, do we have an action-packed day today? Let's just get this background fixed. Hold on. I just want to make sure I got the right link posted in the app for you guys today. Yep. All right. That's working. Good. So, man, a lot going on. First of all, with this, we got lots of earnings we're going to catch up on. Okay. But first, a schedule. 10:30 a.m. Tune in to the app. Tuttle Trades episode 2. All right. We're going to have some great stock picks and conversations with you based on the 4 pillars with a nice fundamental analyst, Chris Tuttle. And then 4:30 p.m. today, we got DRIO management interview. Stay tuned for that. This morning, so let's take a look at the macro situation. You can see FRC down 14% after being down 50% yesterday. PACW going the opposite direction. Look, FRC, I think very good chance that this is going to be taken over by the feds or an acquisition by one of the big banks. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole. And that's that. PACW, they had earnings last night. And you know what the tell was with First Republic? They didn't have a conference call. They didn't speak to analysts, and that was a big warning sign. But anyway, I told him, watching this from bleachers, that's the way to do it. But what stands out here? Okay, yes, we got QQQ stabilizing because of Microsoft earnings. We'll quickly talk about that in a bit. But the thing that stands out here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 8%. Time and time again, we are seeing evidence based on the price action of when Bitcoin moves that Bitcoin is acting like a hedge against the USD, against concerns about the currency possibly being displaced, against concerns about the debt ceiling, which is what's driving this most recent one. And now we have FRC might be going out of business, First Republic, and you can see how Bitcoin's reacting. So I have this as a hedge in my IRA, BITO, via BITO, and I'm very happy I do. It's continuing to show on days like this what the thinking behind it is and what the buyers are thinking and why they're buying Bitcoin. It's acting like a hedge. So that's great against all these possible currency issues. That's a big takeaway from this list here. And, I also have gold. Actually, I have more gold than Bitcoin, but it's just, more traditional. And we'll see. Gold really hasn't taken off yet. But if we ever get into bad situation with the debt or the currency, as do also as well. All right. Let's go over to specific stocks. We had big earnings last night. We had Microsoft, Google, Visa, Chipotle. All of those were pretty good. Then Enphase did not do well. But the one I was really focused on, the only one I actually own out of all those were Microsoft. And maybe I should have bought more good on the earnings. But look, this is all about AI, okay? Azure did well because of the AI. Bing is increasing market share. This stock looks great technically. Look at this level here. Last night I was talking about 292. It broke 292. That was the resistance right here from last week. Then you got resistance here about 294. It's broken that. So now you're talking about 300 plus. I think this thing's headed to an all-time high, 344. I don't know the time frame when it gets there, but Microsoft is on fire. The AI is really working out well. And that AI, by the way, is why I bought some PERI already this morning, PERI, okay? And actually, if we look at AI, see, by looking at the price action of Microsoft, you can kind of glean where the demand is in the marketplace. And you can see all these AI stocks up this morning. AI, 3%, SOUN up 4%, PERI up 5%, NVIDIA up 3%, SYNH, which is a healthcare AI stock, up 2.5%. So I'm looking for, instead of chasing Microsoft here, again, I already own it. I'll be chasing PERI a little bit. It has some catch up to do. Okay, maybe this can get back over that 20 DMA at 39.26. So PERI, I think, is in play today, PERI, because they do the advertising for Bing on behalf of Microsoft. That's the play there. CYH, we've been talking about since last week. And almost every day they have earnings coming out from their peers. First it was HCA with great earnings. And then you can see that gap. And then they had Tenet Healthcare, THC. I think that was yesterday with great earnings. You can see that gap. And then this morning we had UHS with great earnings up there at 144, gapping up. These are all their peers. CYH reports on Monday. Huge short position. Well, it's 8.8%, but I think it's like 13 days to cover. And I talked about the technicals now every single day here. 695 is the target for me, 200-week moving average. I think this is still in play. We will be talking about this at 10:30 with Chris Tuttle from Tuttle Trades. his much better fundamental analyst than me, has done the homework on what he thinks the earnings could be and what the company fundamentally might be worth. But just perfect timing from a story trading perspective. If you have the fundamentals turning on top of that, the technicals and the catalyst and the sentiment, everything coming into play. So I'm really stoked about CYH and can't wait to talk to Chris at 10:30 a.m. about CYH. So 2 plays for you this morning off of Microsoft and UHS earnings, PERI and CYH. Celsius, I'm continuing to pound the table on this since Friday. It's up this morning. So pulled back yesterday. I'm not sure. I'm a little surprised, honestly. I thought this would go up yesterday on Pepsi, but it's still technically above that key level here. So I stuck with it. 50 DMA, that was a key level, about 89.53. My target's 95.60. We're still over a week away from Celsius earnings. So I think we have plenty of tailwinds, whether it's the Pepsi earnings or the technical break or the anticipation of earnings coming up, that we can make a move towards about 95, 95.50, 96 on Celsius in the coming days. So I still like that one. DRIO, again, today, 4:30 p.m. This stock hit a new 52-week low yesterday. It's just been a nightmare. So we're going to ask some difficult questions, try to get some answers from DRIO management today, 4:30 p.m. in the app. Stay tuned for that. Now, I have some big news. Oh, by the way, before I get to the big news, Meta, Teladoc, and Roku after hours today earnings. Okay, I don't have a position in any of them, but we'll be watching. And hey, if you want to play them, you're more than welcome to. I really don't play big cap earnings at all. I didn't play Microsoft yesterday. Maybe I should have, but I don't. I'd rather see the results and then make a decision. But anyway, those are the earnings. Look, XXII, I did a video on this, and I encourage you to watch it. Yesterday, I talked to management. I did a video with my notes. It's in the archives, or if you pull up XXII in the app, you'll be able to see it. And I think that the data I got was very interesting from management, or the context, like the color I got very interesting. But there's something else. Last night, the short position data was updated. And let me see, I don't think it's on TD yet, but you can see it on NASDAQ. Oh, it is on TD, 415. 9.86% of the float, which is up to 21 million shares, right? And the very interesting thing is, since I think it was January 31st number, check this out. Check when the stock went below $1. Okay, right around here, mid-February. Okay, so if you look at the short position, since the stock was right at $1 through now, it has increased by 3.75 million shares exactly. Well, guess what? IWM, the ETF for Russell 2000, they own 3.75 million shares exactly. And guess what? This Friday is rank day. And on Russell ranking day this Friday, if XXII is not $1 or more by Friday at the close, they will be automatically excluded, and they will be leaving the Russell on Reconstitution Day, which is June 23rd, right? So basically, they only have a few days to get over 1. They're probably not going to get there. And funds have been shorting this. This is what the data shows. Funds have been shorting this since early February to the tune of 3.75 million shares, which is exactly what the IWM owns. Why? Because IWM is going to have to sell 3.75 million shares on June 23rd. So these 3.75 million shares will not have to be bought on the open market. They can be bought back in a couple block transactions on June 23rd, decreasing the risk of, hey, I'll have to be buying this into a short squeeze. Now, there are some 17 million other shares that are short. So this doesn't take the possibility away of a short squeeze. What it does tell me since last night is that the shorting might be over, right? This is an additional 3.75 million shares. That's a Russell 2000 exclusion play. I'm not sure that institutions are going to be willing to come and continue shorting this more. So the shorting might be over. This is a key level, 20 DMA. It closed like a fraction of a penny above it yesterday. May not be enough to trigger the algos to say, let's move to 80 cents. But all in all, between the conversation I had with management yesterday, the slight close above the 20 DMA, and the short data, I think it's possible the bottom could be in here for XXII. And by the way, look at the options. This July one I pointed out. People have been buying that. There's now 10,000 open interest on that, which is equivalent to 1 million shares. The average daily volume is like 700, 800,000 shares. If this thing gets close to $1, just based on that current OI, you might have, close to 1 million shares in buying activity to cover any naked shorts on these calls that were sold. I don't know if this is too expert, too advanced for some of you watching this, but in any case, I digress. the point is, I think there's a lot of signals here that XXII may have bottomed around here. Okay, definitely a possibility. All right. So what do we got? So let's recap. PERI over 37, right? We got CYH, excited about that. Celsius, I still like it. DRIO, after hours tonight, we'll find out. XXII could have bottomed. Now, I'm going to give you maybe one or two more possibilities to look at for today. LAZR. LAZR, new short position came out yesterday. New short data. 70 million shares short. Just insane. 30% of the float. And yesterday, by the way, they had Jefferies come out and say a $12 price target. They've been getting nice upgrades, nice big price targets, big deal from Mercedes, multi-billion-dollar deal. The only thing that's been pushing this down is Goldman Sachs coming out and saying sell, 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 price target 5. And then they came out and said, no, we changed our mind, price target 450. Why? Because one day in the future, their margins might get smaller because there's some microcap company out there that might want to compete with them. Just a crazy, stupid thing. I don't know what's going on there, but I love this, especially the short puts on this 30 days out. You can go to like the 450 strike and get a like a 60-70% annualized yield, and you only have to buy the stock if it closes below 450 in 30 days. I really like this. I don't know. There's some sort of game of chicken being played between institutions here, Goldman Sachs versus everyone else. But this is an interesting one. And with that new short position information last night, I don't know. This was up and after hours last night. Was it simply because of Microsoft driving the NASDAQ up? Maybe. Or it may be because people saw that short position and saying, hey, this is no longer sustainable and this thing's got to pop. Maybe. So LAZR, another one to watch. I own some in my IRA. And we'll see. Maybe, well, let's just look at the levels. This is a 20 DMA. It has to close that 20 DMA. If it closes over this 20 DMA 6, had trouble with it over here on April 18th. If it closes over that 20 DMA, then you have 650, 730, possible place to the upside on LAZR. I love calling it LAZR. Luminar Technologies. All right. DermTech, a little bit of news, 400,000 additional covered lives. We have earnings coming up. I think it was announced. Yeah. Earnings coming up on May 4th. I will be tuning into this. Can this be the next Exact Sciences? They haven't proven it yet. Okay. The revenue has not inflected yet, but their covered lives seems to be inflecting. So this is a story to watch. If we see the revenue ramping, if we see evidence of that, this could be a 10, 20, 30 bagger. Is possible for a stock like DermTech. So we got to be closely watching what's going on with DermTech. Okay. And I guess I'll leave it at that today. Continue to watch rum. I think the dips can be bought. The puts can be sold. Their app rankings flew yesterday by another few positions. They're like a top 8 now, which is very, very significant. And that happened without Tucker Carlson actually going to Rumble. It just happened because of the perception that, hey, Fox News is no longer an anti-establishment voice. So where am I going to go to digest content? Let me go to Rumble. There's some anti-establishment voices there. I think that's a huge tailwind that's going to be driving traffic this quarter for Rumble and is going to surprise some of the bears. Who, again, it's richly valued. Okay. So it's not like, oh, this is going to fly to 15. I don't think so, unless they sign Tucker Carlson. But I think trading the volatility, selling puts, a great way to go on Rumble RUM. And with that, I think we're going to move on over here. Let me just see if there's anything that came up in the last 15 minutes. AGRX, which we follow, regains compliance. Okay. SOUN to report first quarter financial results of the AI stock. And then we got TMS. Okay, nothing too much of note here in the last 15 minutes. But I think I gave you some good stocks to look at today. Again, let's just recap it. I'm going to write it down for myself too. It's PERI, it's CYH, it's Celsius. I really like all of these today. XXII, let's keep an eye on that. But more for like, we're looking for the bottom of a long-term inflection rather than necessarily a day trade. And then LAZR, something to watch to see if it breaks at 20 DMA. All right. Great ideas for you today, if I may say so myself. And we'll see you at 10:30 a.m. with Tuttle Trades, a deeper dive into CYH, an update on his picks from last week, Mobileye and Quipt. And then again, 4:30 p.m. We're not going to do the weekly. We haven't done the weekly collab in a long time because we've had so many CEOs come on every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. And if that's the way it's going to go, that's what we'll do, right? And when we don't have a CEO on Wednesdays at 4:30, then we'll jump on Zoom just to chat for whoever wants to chat about anything. All right, have a great day, folks. We'll see you at 10:30 a.m. very shortly. Take care. Have a great morning.